Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only post-match Paulet show, West Ham post-match Paulet show on the internet. We've just come back virtually from the London Stadium. It was West Ham 3, Southampton 0. And we're all back, the band's back together.
Yes,
how long has it been since we've all been in together? All of us?
It's got to be a couple of years at least.
Years?
Long time, yeah, definitely.
What, live?
A few airlines ago.
Yeah. Oh, same.
3 years?
Go for me.
Could be. A couple of stone ago.
Somebody else to find the exact video somewhere.
Do you know what? I'm sort of thinking the.
I don't think all five of us have ever been on, have we?
No, the last time I swear the last time
In
the
the
five of us
clubhouse,
were together was the clubhouse when we done the
we
hit the
No, the pub up Stratford, up near Maryland. We've just never done a couple in there, didn't we?
Oh, the Carlton Horses.
Carlton Horses.
all five of us.
We have done a few.
Anyway,
Scott, take us through the starting lineup.
Fabianski returning goal, Kufal right back, Creswell left back, Bonner and Dawson in the centre, Rice and Soucek, Bowen coming in for Ben Rama, Lingard and Fornells and Antonio up top.
Scott, you do know the camera's there, mate. What are you looking down there?
I know.
It's a screen there. Like you're getting all nervous and shy. Go.
Was it the best starting lineup?
It was. There was a lot of controversy about Ben Rama being dropped, wasn't there? Like it was after,
Yeah, the only swap is you'd do Ben Rama for Bowen, wouldn't you? Really?
Would you?
Yeah.
No, that's the only swap you could do.
Yeah,
I was happy Bowen was starting.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much,
I was just like, next season, I want a bit of consistency and not chop change Ben Rama, Bowen,
but-
Ben Rama,
but then-
Bowen next
but
season.
No, I like
that's what
Moyes.
you need.
Leaving us on an edge.
Yeah.
Don't know where we sit.
Not only that, you got to trust in Moyes. And again, he's got the first 15-20 minutes you're sitting there scratching your head going, oh fucking hell, what we doing here? It's all going wrong. But you got to trust in Moyes. He knows the players, he's picking the players for the certain games, he's trying to be tactical in the way he sets up the sides and which players play in which games. And just unfortunately that Ben Rama's the one that suffers.
But Ben Rama's just got to knuckle down, get his head down in training pre-season, and just show Moyes that he deserves to start. And it's good that we have competition in the squad, and we've got quality to come on for quality, which we haven't had for a long time. So
Thankfully, now we've got an extra competition to play in now. Minutes, when it comes to Bowen.
Yeah,
or
but
Ben
we had all
Rama.
that. This is the thing that worries me. We had all this before with all the competition, and they brought in a proper load of shite.
yeah, but we went.
Moyes
Moyes won't do that. Bilic went all mad, didn't he? He had like 20 quid to spend in 5 minutes in the supermarket, and he just bought
in the penny
anything.
shop.
He ended up with Nordvite and Gokhan and fucking
Dash, wasn't it?
Who's the right back?
Faguli.
Arbeloa. Yeah, it's
Fuck it,
Moyes won't do that. Moyes will be more clinical in the transfer market.
He'll have been looking already at players for next season. He'll know who he wants to bring in. He won't go scattergun approach.
It's all about getting him the money.
But yeah, in terms of the game, I'll be honest, I don't remember much about the game. I was just so super fucking confident.
I couldn't see much of the game because the screen was flying away.
People could have seen.
Yeah, I mean, it was one. It had an end of season feel to it, didn't it? It was like Southampton were there just for the payday. Last game of the season, nothing to play for. West Ham had something to play for, but
That's where it all goes to bollocks. I mean, look at Chelsea.
Yeah, this is where West Ham usually we fold in games like this, and but I was just confident from today. Waking up this morning, I was confident going into today's game. I didn't have no fear about Southampton, even with Danny Ings, and I just thought if we play our game, we're the better team overall this season. We've got the better players, and if we took our chances, and we did today.
Yeah, that's how I just thought Southampton they looked lively on the break first 15, 20. They had a couple of good opportunities.
I think that was nerves from us though. Nerves.
I think they know.
You got to think as well. It's the biggest crowd some of these players have played in front of this season. It's the biggest crowd, isn't it?
I think it's one of them. When you only need a point, it's a little bit difficult to know how to. If you we need the 3 points, and you go all out for the 3 points. When they only need a point, sometimes that.
The thing is, we've been like that all season, where we start a bit slow. It takes us a bit while to get into the game. We're on the back foot, and then we start to get into our groove. But I thought Fabianski had such a brilliant game because they did cause us problems.
Yeah, Minamino had that one that just went past the post, wasn't it? And if that goes in, it's a different game.
Yeah.
And then they had the other one, didn't they, where it come over and he could have played it across, but he took that touch. But look, when things are going your way, that's what football's about. And
that's what you said during the watch along. It's reasons like that, especially that one where he should have crossed it, and he decided to take a shot, is why Southampton are in the position they're in. We've criticised our mentality in the final third with some of our decision making. That chance, the Minamino one was unlucky where he put it past the post, but that chance where all he's got to do is square it, that just shows why Southampton are where they are.
On another day with a confident team, we could have been 2-0 down in the first 15-20 minutes.
Yeah. And we've seen that from us before, and that's the worry. But
yeah, I think once we did start getting our foot on the ball, we looked a lot better.
Yeah,
that's what we was.
Once we got that first goal, we looked.
Yeah, first goal's always important, and we needed to get it today because I think if we're to go 1-0 down, and with the crowds there as well, the players might have felt it a bit more. And we got the first goal, and it was.
I'll tell you what, that is as well. I think really important that we've done it with the fans there, because all season we've had to hear these idiots going, "Oh, it's because the fans aren't. It's because the fans aren't in the fan." And look what we've done. We've gone and smashed the three.
And that's the thing. There was still a bit of pressure in that game. We knew we were guaranteed a European spot, barring. A catastrophe getting slapped,
because then your season starts a lot earlier, doesn't it?
That's it.
And we all know our record in the qualifying rounds recently.
Yeah, it's just we're going to be there. We're going to be in that list.
6 games.
Yeah, we're guaranteed 6 games in Europe, which I think is huge for West Ham. It's huge for keeping the likes of Declan Rice. I don't think. I mean, there's always rumours about Declan. He's our first. He's our best player by a long way. There's always going to be. When you've got a player of that quality in your midst, you're not getting any sort of European football, not competing for anything, languishing about then, mid-table or even worse, dropping down to the bottom of the league. You're always going to struggle to keep a player like him. But I think that more or less guarantees us that we're going to have another year with him, because I think he's going to think, well, I led this team because he's been the captain this year. He's captain the side this year.
And it's a sign of progression as well for him, which is what
I think so. Yeah, and there's players like Soucek, Soufal, and all that. You get another couple of them coming in, and we start to look like a really good side.
Well, that's the thing as well. If you sign Lingard as well, it's putting a statement, isn't it? It's showing that we're now a bit of ambition. We're taking
the thing is with Lingard, I think he's put himself in the shop window so much that there's going to be other clubs looking for him now. But it's if he's happy at West Ham, which he looks like he is, then it's a perfect move all round, because it's in the ball's in his court, really, isn't it? Because he makes that decision now. He can either go and sit at United for a year and do nothing, or he can force his way out and stay at West Ham.
And that's the thing. It's one of them. Who else is going to take him? He's not.
There's links to Spurs.
I think there'll be a lot of teams looking at him now.
Yeah, but he's not going to go City. No. He stays at United. Will United play him? Probably not. Liverpool probably not going to look at him. No. So you're rivaling us, Leicester and Chelsea. Why would you go Spurs? Play in the conference?
No, exactly.
You might as well play. He's not playing Europa League for us. So I think that wins it over that. If he wants to be in London and stay in London, then that's just us and Chelsea. And to be honest, I can't see Chelsea going for him.
No,
I really can't. I think Chelsea have got bigger players that their ambition is going to want to go out and get, and I don't see Lingard playing there.
Yeah, and I think they'll want the players that they've got to try and implement them more. Your Havertz and So I think we're the best option. It's all about whether we obviously pay the money, go out and we'll pay the money to get him and bring him in. That's the big.
What's he got? A year left in his contract?
1 year.
Yeah,
you're looking at about 15 to 20 million.
Exactly.
Which is fucking bargain.
Would be a bargain.
For a seasoned England international, you're taking that all day long.
You could either do another deal with United where you take him on loan for another year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if he's not going to play, you've got
He
that
hasn't
option
started
as well.
any Premier League games.
No, until he played for us, he didn't play, and then he played a couple of League Cup games, didn't he? So he's obviously found a new home at West Ham, and let's just hope that we can get that.
Rumours are that he's happy to be here as well.
You can see that by the celebrations at the end, like. You just see his connection. You go back a couple of weeks ago on Instagram with Mark Noble's birthday. See the spirit in the squad, and that's what we've been lacking for a long time at West Ham. There was too many people with too big of egos and didn't like to mix with other players. But everyone mixes with each other in this squad, and that comes down to the backroom staff. Kevin Nolan, you see the way he is with the players. He's like he still thinks he is a player the way he acts. He's not like a coach, and that's what you need. And you've got the older heads in the dressing room now, and David Moyes as well, who's done unbelievable job this season. He's shut up a few fans that didn't want him there,
mate, including half of us. Let's be honest,
more than half. Me and Graham, no.
Not me and Ryan.
I just I'm so pleased for David Moyes. And look, it could have gone totally wrong, but I just think that's what we needed at West Ham. Someone who come in and made them work hard, because under Pellegrini they weren't doing that. Under Slaven Bilic they wasn't working hard. They was having a fucking turning up for training like a field day. Moyes don't do that. And then you've got Souček and Soufal that have come in that do extra training. So now our players are looking at them thinking, right, we've got to be their level. So now they're doing extra training, and that's.
I think that's been I said that in an earlier post-match point. I think the addition of them two, the professionalism of them, the hum. I mean, Soufal was in the newspaper this week. He was saying he was talking about fans coming back to the stadium, and he was going, I hope I play. He's played every fucking game. You know what I mean? Like,
he's not assuming or taking.
No, he's not assuming, taking for granted. I just hope I play, and I think that shows so much about the character of a man. When, just because he's been our right back all season, he's been outstanding. He's been one of the hammers of the year for me.
He's my hammer of the year.
I would pick him as my hammer of the year as well. But and this is a detriment to not a detriment to the squad, but there's so many. It could be anybody. It could be fucking anybody.
But you mentioned about Souček and Soufal there, and it's like what I've been saying for a little while. You don't always have to go and spend big all the time, because you can shop around and get bargains like them too. I mean, we bought him Soufal for 5 million. What's he worth now? 25, 30?
Yeah. That's it.
Souček, what did we pay for him? 90 million with add-ons, whatever it was.
He's a 60.
50-60 million pound player now. So,
and that's what you've got to look at. Moyes, if they're the players that Moyes, as we said before, if they're the ones he's targeted, he's brought in, his scouting is top notch.
Gerard Bowen, what was he? 20 million.
Yeah,
I'm surprised no other Premier League club took a chance with him, because he was banging them in for Hull. West Ham has stepped in and brought him in, and he's been fantastic for us.
Yeah, that's it.
Fornals was what, 19 million.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you look at that 19 million for a player that's been.
And then you look at our two most expensive signings. One's out in Portugal doing nothing, and the other one went. Well, Haller's gone and obviously won the league at Ajax, but he was still. It just didn't work out at West Ham, and that's why I know sometimes our fans want the 50-60 million pound signings, but sometimes you don't always have to spend big to find quality.
I like the way Moyes going about it, of finding bargains here and there, like turning them into.
Like, it's not easy to do.
They don't always work out.
But that's how we've got to operate.
Yeah, we have to, because we haven't got.
We ain't got the 50, 60, 70, 80 million pounds to spend on every position like the Man Cities or the Chelsea's.
Yeah, but you say that, Nick. Man City, their record signing is only 60 million. They've never spent massive, because.
Yeah, but they bought there were seasons where they bought two right backs for £50 million each. We just ain't got that.
Yeah, but you think they went out and bought Diaz for, what was he, 63 million, and he's a player of the year. For a centre back.
Yeah. I think that's the thing is, I think you pay the big money now. I think we've got burnt paying big money for players. Now it's a case of you pay the big money if the player warrants it.
With the hell effort, I mean, we'll come back to this at some point, because I don't want to. We've banged on about him so much. We've been talking about him since fucking January. Well, I have anyway.
Well, in the season show, we'll be talking about him even more, I think.
What?
We'll talk about him even more at the end of the season.
Yeah, because he's got to be up there for one of the goals of the season.
But when you think about him, he was like our third or fourth choice. You know what I mean? And I really liked him when he come here. I really liked him.
Yeah.
And I thought, when he scored them two against Watford, I thought, we're going to go for a player here. This is someone. And he just never kicked on. But there's a few players like that. Yarmolenko, injured, too bad of injuries all the time. Just never can get back into the. Anderson, for me, just too lazy. Lazy bastard.
He ain't even playing in Porto.
The thing is with Anderson, he'd have one decent game and then go 5 or 6 missing. And you can't do that in the Premier League. Not with a. If Anderson played for a City and done that, he could do that all day long, because they've got quality.
The thing about Anderson is, if we can't get a decent price for him, we might as well keep him in, because we're going to need the squad depth. We're going to need, and maybe, in the Europa League.
He ain't playing.
No, I know, but the problem is, the problem is the manager didn't want him in the first place.
Yeah, but then you're going to get a player back who hasn't played a game of football in a season.
But then again, getting back under David Moyes full pre-season.
Yeah. Well, Lingard at least had a couple of. At least he had a couple of League Cup games to play.
He's played a few
He
times,
has
Scott.
played.
He hasn't.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He's probably
been
played
a year.
as much as, if not more, than what Lingard played when we signed him. But I'm just saying, like, if you're not going to get a decent fee, say someone's going to offer us like 4 or 5 million for Anderson, you think you might as well give him another go.
Yeah, but
See what Moyes can get out of him.
if I'm not mistaken, now he's probably the highest earner at the club. The fact that Hilaire's gone. So
Maybe,
do you want to keep him on that big wages and he just plays
But
here and there?
that was down to Pellegrini, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that's what I'm
Giving
saying.
them
So,
stupid contracts.
Yeah, if you offload him for 5 million and then you take his wages and you can go and sign someone else, let's be honest, you could sell him for 5 million, sign 2 players just on the amount of wages that you're going to save.
The important thing is, though, is that we're getting quality, not quantity, like last time we did Europa League. But I tell you what, obviously we ain't talked about the game much, but we're talking about Fornals. Scott was slating him, summing out.
No.
He's slating his finishing. What does he go and do?
Exactly, but
he goes and finishes.
As I said,
Scott, it always happens with you. You slate players.
Yeah, every time. And as I said, all I said was if he could finish, he'd be double figures.
The thing is with Fornals is I think he's been the most improved player this season.
Yeah,
because he's featured in most of our games. He's always worked his socks off, and he's got himself a few goals. I mean, you go back to his goal at Leicester. For me, that is. I know we're going to do our end of season thing, but that's still my goal of the season. And I know people will say Lanzini's goal at Tottenham for the moment.
Is that the one we pulled out?
Yeah, but the way it come over his shoulder, his first touch and finish, it was an unbelievable goal.
Yeah.
And today I'm so pleased for him. He's got 2 goals today.
He's not gone under the radar a little bit.
He has, because his work rate gets unnoticed by a lot of our fans, and there's a few fan accounts out there that like to slate him. But you always get that one player that people don't like, and they're just
for him. For me, it was his decision making at times.
That's letting down.
That's the only thing that let him down at times.
But he's not the only one.
No, absolutely not. It's just but he seems to be finding his feet in that. But he, as I say, a player like him, when David Moyes first come in, couldn't get into the side. He's one of the first names on the team sheet now. If not the first name on the team sheet. And I think a lot of fans do. He's one of them scapegoat players. He's got to be one of them ones that, because he does all the dirty work. He goes unnoticed by people, and then people, like when he fucks up a pass, people say like, what's he actually fucking doing and all of that sort of thing. One of them
I think he's an important link between Soucek, Rice, and like Lingard and Antonio. And that he's that little missing piece in that middle.
Do you think a lot of that is though? Remember when we signed him and he was playing for the Spain under-23s in the Euros or World Cup, was their version of it. And we saw the tricks, the flicks, the sort of flair side of him, and that's what we thought we were getting. And then he struggled at first, and then found his feet, and we don't see that. We see the work rate and the tenacity.
But I think he can be a flair player. I think he was signed as a flair player because Pellegrini signed him. It wasn't Moyes that signed him. But what Fornals has got for me is he's got the character. He's another one that come out in the press last week and all that, telling everyone like you can see how much West Ham means to him, how much he enjoys playing with the side and all that. When he was celebrating last week, this is my team, and all of that sort of thing. And I think that's what Moyes saw in him, and I think that's why he didn't get games at first, because he was that flair player that wasn't quite doing it. But what Moyes has done is he's got him in training and sees that, he will take the advice. He heeds advice. He does what Moyes asks him to do. He doesn't complain about it. He just gets on with it. And I think that's what a lot of this squad is about. When you look at the squad in a whole, he's got rid of all the prima donnas and the people that think, I'm playing my game and that's it. And he's got in players that work for him and work for each other.
And this is what we needed to do. We needed to go back to basics, and we might need an old-fashioned British manager, because I know that a lot of people want these big-name foreign managers and that. And we tried it with Pellegrini, and it didn't work out. And I know the board get a lot of criticism, and rightly so, but they did chuck a lot of money at Pellegrini, and he wasted it. And David Moyes has come in, and this is the second time he's come to this club to clean up the mess. So now just give him that new contract, which I think he will get.
I think that's madness that he ain't got one.
Yeah, it's probably a done deal, but David Moyes is probably a sort of person that says, look, leave it to the end of the season. It's probably a done deal. And just give him 3 years or whatever, and let him try to build on something, because it'd be disappointing now if Moyes didn't agree a new deal and he
I
walked away.
thought he was supposed to be announced like 2-year deal. I thought that
Yeah,
was the thing.
I think he will, and it's good that he's going to get that because, as I said, it's not always what goes on the pitch; it's what goes off the pitch as well. And he works hard. Every time you see a game on the telly, Moyes is in the stand. And when did you ever see that? When was the last time you see a West Ham manager doing that?
That's it, mate.
Not a lot of managers.
You don't.
John Hull used to do that. That's the last manager I remember.
Yeah, and there you go.
There
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we, like we said, that's what we need. We need someone who's going to do that, you know. And if he doesn't sign a new contract, then we know there's something wrong massively.
I think he will.
Because I think he will. I really do. But
Yeah, I think you want certain assurances.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's nice to see a lot of fan accounts that give me stick with David Moyes now turning around and actually supporting David Moyes. And I'm not someone that's going to tweet him saying, I told you so. So I'm not that sort of person. I'm just glad that they're getting round to the fact that sometimes you shouldn't get on someone's back. He's coming to do us a favour to help us get out of relegation scrap. Right? Don't get on his back. Get behind the fucking team. Get behind the manager. And that's what a lot of people don't. And I think that's the social media generation. You know, just get behind the manager. I know, like, he might not be the name that everyone wants. And to be fair, when Moyes come back and we was linked with others, I was thinking there's probably better options out there than Moyes. But then as soon as he come through that door, bang, I was behind him, 100%.
well, that's it. Look, we us on the left-hand side, we criticised him, criticised the appointment quite a bit. But at the end of the day, we all backed him. Once he was signed, and that's it. You know, we said he weren't the manager at the time we thought we needed. And we were wrong.
You have to get behind him because at the end of the day, like, what are you going to do? Sit there and just slate him and want us to lose? Just
Some people do.
And that's what I mean.
Yeah, but
Some
it's the
people
thing
can't
that-
admit
Yeah,
that they're wrong.
Like they want us to do, well, they want the manager to do badly to prove their point.
Yeah.
But if the manager's doing badly, the club's doing badly.
Yeah, exactly.
So why would you want
exactly.
that?
I think there's a difference though in expressing an opinion. Say, I don't think this guy's the right guy. I don't think he should take us forward. Than not getting behind the team or I mean, wanting.
And I can
to
completely
lose.
understand that. I can completely understand
what I
that.
mean?
But some people just won't admit they're wrong when we're doing right, and they'd rather see us lose and suffer just to say, I told you, Moyes, he weren't the right man.
The big thing for Moyes, what I think he has to do is next season give us a bit of consistency. Whether that's and to me that's a top half finish. Not necessarily we have to get Europa League again, but for me to see us progression, not to be back down in that relegation scrap. The big criticism of him at Everton was he'd have like a good season, then a poor season, good season, poor season. But I think if he can actually bring that stability to West Ham, it's huge. And it's not just on Moyes, it's on the board as well.
Stability for us, we have to be a top 8 club season in, season out.
Yeah.
We have to be challenging for that Europa spot. And then if by any chance we do ever go that one step further and make the Champions League, because when you look at the table, like if we'd have picked up one more win this season, 4 more points, we'd have been in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And you'll look back over games during the season and think that's where we should have picked up them points.
Exactly.
You know, we was 3-0 up against Arsenal, and we blew that.
Yeah.
You know, there's games that you'll look at and you'll think, but if only. But look, if we were sitting here, if we go back to when we lost the first game of the season, and I said to you, right, at the last game of the season, we're going to be sitting here saying we're finished 6th and we're in Europa League,
Take it all
you'd have all said, nah, fuck off. You're lying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a massive season compared to like where we was this time.
I'll tell you what, last season, when you look at how we ended that season, very strongly.
Since lockdown, we've come back. We've been a different. I'd like to see the points. I'd like to see a table from when we first started lockdown to now, because I think we'd be right up
Definitely.
I think
Definitely.
we were at one point. We had the most points, I think.
Yeah. So no, we've done one thing about it. We've done a lot of it without having a striker.
It's been fantastic.
Like Antonio's been injured for a lot of the season. We didn't have Alea, so we've had to really adapt to so many of these different, roadblocks.
But that's
players chipping in from all over the
that's
pitch.
it,
So
exactly.
That's the difference.
Yeah, you look at it. There's been goals from a lot of positions, and today Fornals gets a brace. You know, we needed someone to get the goals, and he went and done it today.
Well, I was just about to say, as quickly as we got the first one, the second one came soon after. It's a good finish as well.
Yeah.
Really good finish.
Very good finish.
build up.
Great work from Soufal as well.
Yeah.
Picked him out.
As
Great
usual.
finish.
So the first one was, Antonio done well, kept it alive. Bowen took his shot. Keeper palmed it.
Yeah,
and
keeper, I thought, had a bit of a shocker with that one.
Yeah.
It wasn't the hardest shot, was it? But I
didn't actually even see the first goal. So.
he was in taller.
Yeah.
I got a bit stressed out at some of the finishing that when I was doing, and when you think, bloody hell, that's terrible. But
And that's when
sometimes it takes them time just to find the range. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have a few of them, and then you start to go, right, I'm going to come again. And when I come again, I'm going to be.
Listen, I'll keep criticising his finishing so long as he bags a brace every game.
Right, Scott's taking the credit here. Scott's taking the credit.
But that's it, that's it. And credit to him. He missed them 2 earlier chances, but the 2 he took them well.
Yeah,
The first one was a bit of a deflection, but as I said, I think that was going in anyway.
Yeah.
And the second one, it was a good finish.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. I think obviously it wasn't going because only it was an goal, so it definitely was on target.
And then and the good thing for us as well, we rode that sticky patch out. That first 15-20 minutes, we rode it out. They were on top. We didn't concede. And then when we got into the game, the key thing we did, which we haven't done in other games, we got on top and we scored. You go back to games like Everton, you go back
Newcastle,
Chelsea,
Brighton. When we was on top in the game, we didn't take our chances.
Yeah.
Man United earlier in the season, that was the most frustrating one, I think, of all of it.
But that's what I mean. But you know what? You look at that, right? Again, that goal they scored that goes out of play. You think back to that.
But that's the problem is that goal that goes out of play. If you bang them 4 or 5 chances that were clear-cut chances, and that's where I think when you look overall at the end of the season, that's where you're going to be sitting there saying that's what went wrong. Lack of finishing, lack of decision.
Yeah, and that straight away the board and the manager know where they've got to improve, and that's up front.
Exactly.
We need someone more clinical. Listen, I love Antonio, I love his work rate, but I think when he's got to decide, that's when he falls foul.
Yeah.
When it's instinct, he's better. Yeah. And I just think he's. But I'm not going to criticise Antonio. I think he's had a great season.
You see that goal he got the other night. That was, I'm through. It's it corner. And
then you see when he goes through 1-on-1 for the penalty, instead of finishing it, he tries to take it around the keeper.
That's it.
But we definitely got to improve up front, bring in another 1 or 2 strikers, someone to challenge Antonio.
Yeah, I mean I think for next season, if we're serious, I think Antonio, we can't go in relying on him to be our first choice. The injuries, I think, are too much. His fitness, he's lost the yard of pace. I think having if Antonio's our backup next season, we're in a really strong position, and we've got obviously extra.
The thing is, you got to look today. He went off today, didn't he, Antonio, in the second half, and he was limping and
cramped. He had clattered.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is you're looking now. That's 3 games. He's picked up another injury. This is the frustrating thing. But I'm with you. We can't go into next season. Our focal point of attack is Antonio. We've got to be looking. Antonio, you're on the bench. Week in, week out, you're on the bench. Stay fit, you're on the bench. Come off last 20 minutes.
He'd be a great sub, wouldn't he? Like, bring him
exactly. On. And unfortunately, look, I've criticised him in the past, but his injuries will catch up with him. He's getting older now. And as much as he looks like he keeps himself in shape, once you've got dodgy hamstrings, you've got dodgy hamstrings.
Oh, yeah.
Scott will testify.
Yeah.
I think defensively we looked a bit solid today. Bonner especially had a great game.
We needed that clean sheet.
We needed that clean
Dawson,
sheet.
I thought, was really good today.
Boost to Fabianski being back in the team.
Dawson's looked good again.
He had a shaky spell, didn't he, for a couple of games, Dawson, and he's gone back.
Dawson and Bonner are our best partnership.
That interception from Dawson in the first half, and then the tackle, I think, or interception in the second.
Well,
half.
you look even when you when you look in the second half when Ings done that turn and Bonner just shielded him. Yeah. So you ain't getting nowhere, sunshine.
I tell you what, that's an amazing thing for Dawson. When you think of he must not be able to believe it. He got relegated with Watford. They didn't want him, and now he's
qualified he's the worst defender he's ever seen.
He's been a massive part.
He's like our version now of Ginger Pele.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and I've seen a lot of people saying, he's probably a better defender than Ginger Pele.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I love
yeah.
Ginger Pele, but I think with Dawson he's a bit more up there with defending. Ginger was the one that threw himself in.
When the boats were flying,
he'd
stick his head in.
Yeah.
But I also think that you see it from day one when he came in. From day one, Dawson. The day he had to go, he was getting nowhere in his squads at times. You know what I mean? And it was only.
And I remember
stuff.
saying it on Friday Night Pint when we signed him. I said if everyone's fit, he probably won't even make the bench.
Yeah.
And I do remember saying that.
Yeah, and but when he came in, you could just see there was a difference because he commanded. He was there, and you see him. He was man of the match that night. I think he was man of the match the next game. And you just see him pointing at people, telling people where to go, what to do, how to play.
He's an old-fashioned centre back.
Yeah, he is an old-fashioned centre back, but
he's another leader.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we
that's
got through
I
them.
think at times, Scott, that's what we've missed in the club. I think that's what we've missed. We used to rely a lot of it on Noble. You know, Rice. I think Rice is a good captain, but he was only a young kid at the time. But when you looked around squads like last year, the year before, and all that, who could you honestly say, apart from Mark Noble, who you could turn around and say, since Ginger left, that actually took control, and you know what I mean?
You look at it. You look at who's been standing captain. Creswell doesn't inspire me as a leader.
Yeah.
Bonner's a solid defender, but again, doesn't inspire me as a leader. You know, and I think Fabianski was captain for the game as well. Again, doesn't have that leadership quality.
He's had a great season, Creswell, this year.
Oh, he's been fantastic.
Unbelievable season. Considering Creswell has been playing with a smile on his face since day one, and you can see how confident he is, and his assists this season, and he's creating chances. What are you looking for? But Creswell has just been magnificent this season.
I think he's definitely got to be a contender for Ram of the Year, whether win it or not. His name should be in the mix. I think
it's a bit weird that they haven't done the voting on the website, have they?
Well, I thought that the other day. I'm thinking to myself, we normally got it by now.
Yeah, normally they announce it last game of the season.
Unless they're going to do it sort of during the summer, then probably present it to the player when there's full capacity.
They may give it to another crack website and that we don't go on. That's why I've not noticed.
Yeah, maybe.
That normally happens.
I'll tell you what, as well, I think Declan Rice scoring that goal, I think that's huge for him, because you can see that that's something that he really wants to add to his game. And I think that's another big thing in us keeping him, because you look at the likes of Chelsea and all these other teams want to turn him into a centre-back. He don't want to play centre-back. He wants to play in midfield. He wants to get forward more. He wants to score goals.
I think he's got in the England squad, as I said.
Well, the thing is with Declan Rice at the moment, he's got the world at his feet. He's at a club where he's loved and adored by the fans, the manager, the team. He's an England international regular. He's not someone that sits on the bench. He starts for England. He's going to start in the Euros. Yeah. He's 22 years old. Look, you see what Harry Kane's done at Tottenham. Players have ambition. They want to leave and go and win trophies. Declan Rice is 22. He could stay at West Ham for another 3-4 years. He's got over 100 Premier League games for a 22-year-old. Yeah. That's crazy.
And the thing is, you look at, like you said with Harry Kane, he's given Spurs the opportunity to go on and win things, and they haven't done it. So he's now, my ambition before I have to retire is I want to win something. And you can see Rice giving West Ham that opportunity to sit there and say, look, I know I could go and play for the Cities or the Uniteds or whoever he wants to go and play for, but I want to stay here. I'm doing a job. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying playing my football, and I like the boys around me. I want to see where I can go at this club. This is the club that gave me the opportunity. Chelsea dumped him on his ass. Chelsea thought he was shit, and we took him, we brought him through, and we're reaping the rewards of what another club deemed was a pile of crap. And as I've said before, why would you want to go back to a team that told you wasn't good enough? What point are you proving going back to them? You're proving a point by going to another team, proving yourself, and shitting all over the team.
Do you know what the problem is with Chelsea? Is like everything's built in that team. It's very short term. Like if he goes there, you're there. Then all of a sudden they get bored of you. They want the next shiny new player, and then you're down the pecking order. And
I've seen people slagging off Kante.
Mad.
The thing is, that might be taken out of Declan Rice's hands, though, because if the club accept a bid for him, something ridiculous comes in like 100 million from the club accept it, and then Rice will turn around and say, well, the club obviously don't.
No, but the thing is, if 100 million is hard to turn down.
Of course it is.
Anything less than
for a club like West
million,
Ham,
they should laugh.
Anyone would struggle to turn down 100 million. Even
clubs like West Ham, like our level, that is a lot to turn down.
And someone offered Man City 100 mil for a player, they wouldn't turn it down.
And the thing is, I think if someone did come in and offer 100 mil, it'd be hard for us to sit there and sort of neglect Rice going.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. If I don't want to see him go, as I said, I think he will progress better as a player, staying where he is, because he doesn't go to the likes of Chelsea.
As I said,
City as captain.
He's 22. Even if he stays here for another 3 years, he'll only be 25 when he leaves us. At the peak of his career,
and I think
probably over 300
he
games.
He has so much off the pitch as he does on the pitch. In the dressing room. Talking about Noble how important he is. And Declan Rice has got that. Like
He's got a massive rapport with fans.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
it's the easy link between the fans and the players.
He's got a massive rapport with fans. Like he's one of them. You see him going on a different channel the other week. He's one of them people that we was outside Southampton once, funnily enough. And we was doing fan cams, and he come outside and started watching. Right.
Southampton.
And
away.
And that's the thing with Noble going out the door. You need another connection for the team and the fans, and Rice can be that connection.
Yeah,
you know, as much as he's not that much of a homegrown talent, but he's a player that every single fan can get behind, and you know, he's had rejection, and he's come into a side and he's proved himself. Exactly, that's it. You know, and people can relate to that in general life. You know, you go through life, you get rejected at one point in your life somewhere along, and then you bounce back, and that's what Rice has done. He's been rejected by the club he supported as a kid. His best mate was playing there, and he's come back now, and he's proved himself. He's proved the people wrong that dumped him, and you know we're reaping the rewards. And so you know, I want to see him stay with us. As I said, England captain, West Ham captain, next 3 or 4 seasons. We'll win something with that boy. We'll win something with that boy. I'm telling you.
You're not going to win things when you let players like that leave the club. And we've seen that down the years when we've let the golden generation, let's say, of West Ham, the Cole, Carrick, Lampard, Defoe, Rios. We let them go, and we never achieved anything. We've always been that sort of club that either flirts with relegation or has one good season and then 5, 6 bad, and we've always been like that. But you want to start doing things in the game, you've got to keep hold of these players.
The thing, like you say, the players we've had down the years, but they've had their success elsewhere. They haven't done it with us.
Other clubs' success has been built off the back of players that we gave the opportunity to.
Yeah.
That's how you've got to look at it. And this is where now, for a club like us, with as much as we, you know, I don't like the London Stadium, with a stadium that we've got, with the fans that we've got, now's the opportunity for us to push forward and build a team around the likes of Declan Rice.
Unfortunately, that all comes down to the people in charge.
Exactly. But,
but as I've said to you before, though, just because the fans don't like the London Stadium, it doesn't mean that the players don't like the London Stadium.
Exactly. And that's it. You know, as I said, we've got 60,000 fans in the ground again.
I'm happy sitting 5 miles away if we're winning games.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. That's what it boils down to. You keep winning. The performances on the pitch, you'll put up with the shit view. You know, you go to Wembley to watch games at Wembley. After time, your view's crap, but
I'll tell you,
your team are, succeeding.
Some European nights there. Surely we can get that place rocking. You know,
you will be next season. Like you got 60,000 back there. Like there was 10,000 lucky fans back there today. Next year there'll be an extra 50,000 there.
Yeah. And that's
you imagine that first bubbles.
Yeah, exactly. That first home game next season.
Around the ground.
Imagine Southampton coming out that first bubble.
2,000.
He hasn't, is he?
Souček's only experienced that once or twice.
Yeah.
Once at home, I think.
Yeah.
No, he played Brighton and Southampton. Brighton was his debut, wasn't it? The 3-0, and then we played Southampton. It's 2 games. So he hasn't experienced that, and then Lingard hasn't experienced that as a West Ham player. If we keep him,
Dawson.
I think Bowen only had a couple of games of it, didn't he? So.
Well, yeah, because Moyes didn't play him for a while, did he? He weren't really getting in the team. So poor Hugo, man, never got to experience it.
He'll get it next season, won't he?
Yeah, next year. Yeah.
He'll be able to come out to them bubbles,
Yeah,
he'll be in the opposition.
No, it's a great way to end the season. 3-0 clean sheet.
Exactly. That's it. Happy.
Yeah,
finishing above Spurs, which is good.
Yeah, listen,
I enjoy that because I see Jamie O'Hara giving it all the big and the other weeks, and this is how far they've fallen from grace. Is that he was saying like, "Oh, we're back above West Ham," and all things like that. And I'm like, and I listened to him on the radio the other day, and Alan Brazil and McCoist were talking about their greatest achievements in football. They went to O'Hara, and he went probably scoring the winner at Upton Park. That just says all about him. He's a nothing. He's a foul football player. He's a foul pundit. I can't stand him. And listen, they are bothered. They are bothered. And they'll pretend, they'll sit there and say, "Oh, look, one season we ain't worried about West Ham finishing by." So trust me, this fucking hurts them. It hurts them.
Nicky's going to be on the Fighting Cock forum later, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
Let's be honest. You know, when you look at how far they've fallen, they won the league in November. They've now lost their one of their own, aren't they? You know, he's turned around.
Scott, they've gone from saying Jose Mourinho, trophy Mourinho, to having Ryan Mason as a caretaker manager.
There you go. And that's end of the day, they're getting what they deserve, don't they?
Listen, I don't want to talk too much about them. I can't. Harry Kane, man, he's got the most goals and the most assists in the city. Who are they going to get to replace that fucker?
Exactly.
Who are they going to get to replace him? There is no one to replace him. Not that they can attract.
Not that quality.
No.
Yeah, not in the European Conference League.
Gareth Bale's going back to play golf in Spain, isn't he? So,
That's what I'm saying. It's all downhill from there. And they had their best. This is the thing about them, right? They never. We never professed to be good.
Nope.
We never professed that we're saying we're not. And they've had their most successful spell in the Premier League era, and they've won exactly the same amount of trophies that we did.
Listen,
none.
We've said it all along. We're punching way above our weight in a minute. With the squad we've got, we're punching above our weight.
Mate of mine yesterday, he tried to get me. He went fishing, but he put up a little thing. He went, "Old trophy since 1980. West Ham 0-1 Church won."
Good luck, all Church. Well done for winning their trophy.
I weren't biting. I didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nah, it's
Well, that's bullshit because we won the Intertoto Cup.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a European trophy.
Exactly.
But what about a couple of years ago when I said we'd finish fifth above them, and they was going on. They've made videos about it.
They pump that every year. Like
They won't
Say
be
that every
pumping
year.
it out this year, will they? They won't be pumping it out anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like they spoke about me like I was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was proper.
Like the
proper
idea
crazy.
that we could
You weren't
think,
that
think
to be
about.
honest. To be fair, that year you weren't. You were crap.
We still ain't finished fucking fifth.
nearly.
3 points.
If we'd have finished fifth this year, I would have had a field day. Nearly.
Nah, anyway, fuck them.
Yeah,
See,
fuck
look,
them.
It's been so nice to get together with yous. You know, we ain't seen each other. I ain't seen you since March. I ain't seen you since the start of the season. I ain't seen you since the start of the season. And it's been nice to get together to watch a game of football when it got working and have no pressure. Do you know what I mean? It was like just nice to sit here, have a laugh,
Yeah,
have a
because I
chat.
think
watch
if
a game of
we'd
footy.
have been in a relegation battle, I don't think I'd have turned up here and watched it at home.
I mean, a lot of the people that have joined us on our
couldn't
watch-alongs, it's been stressful this season. Like it's been for different reasons.
Yeah.
Usually it's stressful at the bottom of the table, but even up the table, the games, my heart rate has been
Because there's something to
through the
play
roof.
for, isn't there?
Yeah.
And you think little old West Ham battling out with these
I
big
think I'm
clubs.
more stressed up this end of the table than I was near the bottom.
Do you know what? I haven't enjoyed watching us over the last few weeks, but today I enjoyed it. Today I enjoyed
By
it.
that
It was
first 15.
A bit relaxing, yeah. You can enjoy it a bit more.
I think I was more nervous the other night against West Brom than I was today.
Yeah, that West Brom.
Because
Yeah.
West Brom's the sort of game, and we went 1-0 down as well. We missed the penalty. You just think, fuck it.
We did. Up until,
We're gonna blow it, but no, look, we've seen it out, and we've finished sixth in an unbelievable. So it's been a weird season for so many reasons. Obviously, fans not being able to attend and everything we've had to deal with.
Someone said they saw you in Debden Audi buying soft pop roll.
Yeah.
That's how nervous he was.
I was in Home Bargains.
Home
Bargains, that Audi.
in Debden.
Yeah.
When was that?
Up the
Today?
road. Up the road.
What, today?
No, yesterday. I was the one pushing the kid around in the pram.
Yeah. Scott watch.
Exactly.
He's been spotted
He
out.
still has a new.
Scott's in like Hello Magazine, like pushing
See,
the.
Scott,
Like that to the camera.
Scott don't skimp out when it comes to toilet roll. He buys the
There you
proper
go. Scott goes
luxurious stuff.
bit Cushel.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's got to be.
But we happy?
Like wiping your
Very
ass with
happy,
feathers.
very happy, Hammers.
Yeah.
Massively.
Happy?
Yeah, cool. So it's been a long, even though we ain't been going to games, it's been a long old season. It's because it just felt like last season just rolled into this season.
Yeah.
There was no break. And
No
now
break.
look what
Yeah,
we got. 2-week break and we've got the Euros coming up. So it's never ending, but we can all sit.
tell them. Misses that.
No, we're back and watch. We've
You're going to tell her that when we've all gone, yeah?
Yeah.
got memories of the World Cup.
We got to get together for the draw, for like the groups and all the Europa League draw and all of that.
Yeah.
That's going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
We're gonna
So
get together for the Euros, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Hopefully
do
the
stuff for the
English.
Euros.
Yeah.
No, I'll be honest.
Hopefully we'll be able to ditch the tin.
Yeah.
For the beer and
Hopefully we can ditch the tent
Yeah,
and
for
have a
weather.
garden.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, wouldn't
But
it?
the thing is,
I think the tension get man of the match today for not flying away. There was one point where I thought it was going to go, and then we was going to be flying around that.
Thanks, Mum and Dad. For the gazebo.
Yeah.
well, what we need
I've
then,
just got to take it down.
if we're doing a watch along in the garden, I think we're going to need a telly. Because we ain't going to be able to watch it with a projector without
Well, I don't know, man. The telly's. Have you ever tried to watch telly in the garden?
Yeah.
That shit don't work. I've tried that before.
I've sort this internet out.
West Ham fan TV is going to have to invest in a better projector, I think.
Well, I don't even know if we can get out. Well, they must be able to because they do it on that side, didn't they?
Yeah.
Also, well, look, I'm looking forward to the Euros now.
Take the tent to Poland, someone said.
We have to fly it though. Fucking hell.
I can look at it. Look, we can look back at this season. It's been a good season. Been a bit of a roller coaster. A good season. Euros coming up now. We can enjoy our summer.
Yes.
Until
England get to semi-finals and get knocked out.
No, we're going to win
Shut
it.
up,
We're going to win it, Greg.
You're going to ruin everything. Ruin the dreams.
Nah, it's been brilliant. Yes.
That's it then, boys. I think for the season.
That's it for another season.
Long live David Moyes.
I remember the days we used to fucking pull out a cake at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get that no more.
No.
What was her name? Who was the one that brought the cake? What was her
Elaine.
name? Elaine. That was, no,
Lorel,
Lorel, that was it. I think he put a wig on. Then we all went O'Neill's and got pissed.
Yeah.
That was funny, wasn't it? Dan O'Neill's.
But hopefully there will be some sort of normality again next year. Once again, it's been a pleasure to see all the boys again. We should be able to get together now quite regularly, unless something fucking catastrophic happens over the next couple of weeks. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we're coming towards the end of the bad times, and we can look forward to some good times. And I'm looking forward to go back to the stadium. Thank you so much to everybody for supporting this season. It's been a tough season. I hope we've provided some sort of entertainment for yourselves, and hope we've helped you. I know we get quite a few new messages every week saying that we've helped people during lockdowns and tough times. Thank you so much. I've got to say a quick thank you to Miss Amoret, who stepped in a couple of weeks ago. We get a lot of problems with trolls. There she is. Thanks, guys, as always. Has a lot of problem with trolls. She stepped in as our moderator. We will promote a few more people as moderators, I think, but she's done an absolute brilliant job. And what we're going to do is we're going to get you out. If you send us a private message, we're going to get you out a few T-shirts and like some credit for our store and everything else. To say a big thank you for, for not only being the moderator, but she supported us all season, even before she was the moderator. She was always here week in, week out. We're gonna give you like 5 or 6 T-shirts. I think we're gonna send them out to you.
Yeah, she's earned it. She has earned it.
But again, Matt Powell, people like that who we've built a nice little online community.
Yeah, so many names, isn't there?
They're having fun. We built a nice little online community, and it's all been born due to lockdown, and we really appreciate it. But fingers crossed, we'll be back in the stadiums next year and all that sort of stuff. Anyone else got anything left to say?
No, well, I'll be having, for people I keep asking, on Friday night pint, I'll have my tea. I'll have a cup of tea on Friday night pint and eat every chip of it.
Stay safe and look after each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boys, there's one thing really left to say, isn't it? We're all going on a European tour.
Yes, Scott.
But it's been brilliant. We have really got one more thing left to say.
Come on, you Lions!